the game. And I think just hearing that from Astini shows that it doesn't matter what you draft at the end of the day, you can make anything possible in Dota through better map play, better itemization, and it shows that Pvision's approach to it isn't a matter of a draft has to be everything for us to win. They don't mind playing at a slight disadvantage. Less stuns. Look at the stun averages on their team. They often don't have as many as the likes of, let's say, like an Extreme Gaming.
Okay, so they just lock it in straight away. There should just be a DM Centaur. Lanes quite well into Chen, you don't care too much. You have high HP regen, you're pretty fast yourself, you don't care too much about the pressure. You also have the roll to, of course, the Stampede to get away from the potential roll and also the creeps. Yeah, unless they have a flex potential, I at least have not seen 9 class play Centaur. But
Who
might
knows?
be open.
It's the tops and the mid Centaur going to be coming to TI.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, if PV wanted to double counter the Pango, they could just go for a Grimstroke. We've seen that hero re-emerging with Soulbind as its primary focus in the draft.
I'd like to see 9 class play a real position 4.
He does not do that.
I mean,
look at his heroes, like he's got Rubik, everything else I'm like,
and his fake ones are out. His Slark and Monkey King, they're still Alchemist.
And the next fake one is Alchemist, because it's really hard, generally speaking, to play a ranged position 4 against Chen. The hero bullies you. Sure, last game he put his creep into the mid lane to try and slow down no one. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see like another melee 4 later on, because so far, from what I understand, they've mainly been playing Snapfire on Ducalis. And I like this, to me, is also a lot when it comes to stealing. You're not giving it into Crit's hands.
and there's so much kiting potential, and those stats are incredible for Ducalis, right? 8-0, but
yeah,
like you've already mentioned in regards to the Beast with the Raw against the Pangolier, and then the Stampede, you also have Cookie, and then the utility from a Snapfire, be it from a 4-star or like a Shard with the heal. There's so many ways for Pvision to offer up a fight to Falcons and then move away. Falcons have to make sure that their spell usage is so on point. Yeah.
Falcons have the issue of damage to address too. Last game there was just no follow-up, there was not enough coming through. This time around, Pango does do damage, but it falls off. Chen, he's just a sustain hero. We need more burst, and Snapfire is typically the go-to for Falcons. Having it taken away, it kind of leaves Hoodwink, which is not as much damage as a Mortimer's Kisses.
Crit also has been playing the Grimstroke that we mentioned, and I wouldn't mind if they took it for themselves. Having a little bit more control, soul binding up the Stampede, you kind of got a Stampede in the same direction, and then we'll potentially enable 2 picks down the line to offer up bonus damage through the soul bind. You get the 15 talent, that's another 25%. And there's so many layers to it, but that all aside, they just go for the Hoodwink, keep it classic. And of course, DK Hoodwink, you saw BB utilize it against Falcons yesterday in that first game.
I mean, they got their kill combo that we always talk about, a way to make a play on the game. You get that easy blink timing, and then you just look for opportunities. You look to invade the enemy triangle, because you see this Beastmaster who's been relegated to the mid lane because Chen would have countered him in the safe lane. You can go in there early, set up your invasions.
That is an old one.
TI1 right there.
Hey.
Well, yeah, it is the Falcons classic, right? You get the Skeeter DK, and with the double minus armor as well from Pango DK, not to be underestimated. A lot of these heroes on Pvision so far, not the highest armor heroes, but they're going for a very similar strat. You have a lot of annoyance on the map. You've got the Beast Summons, you've got the Enigma, so Centaur is a support?
I mean, we have to have that discussion now, right? It's DM playing the Enigma every single game. There's now a Centaur available, right?
Yep.
9 class plays Enigma, maybe?
Yeah, that's going to be the big question of the draft, right? And that's exactly what Falcons have to ask themselves. You've got both Centaur and Enigma, and we saw Enigma go to the support role in the Heroic series. DM probably wants to play it. Is it a new 9-class support that's going to be showing us at...
I think, if anything, it'll be Centaur support, or it could even be Beastmaster carry, and then you just have your 3 cores anyway.
Yeah, I would kind of like the Centaur 4. Why not? You use your body in lane against the Chen. And it kind of, I would say, it baited Team Falcons a little bit to like, okay, we see the offlane Centaur. We're going to lock in the DK. We're going to lock in the Chen. This is not the best lane when it comes to playing against an Enigma. So for Pvision, they need as always, a hyper carry for Satanic. He will take over the game, but you need the damage to come out into this abundance of lockdown that you do have with your other 4 heroes.
Don't you run back the likes of like the Brood or something? You have good damage, more map play. Sure, there's a Pangolier, but it's only the Pangolier. And when you're already having to deal with the pressure of a Beast and then the Enigma, One of these type of heroes can...
If they want to value more map play, that is the hero you would look for. To me, I see that a range carry would feel kind of nice. I mean, it's
With the
also,
roar,
yeah, it's also nice to play like a melee here with the snap. You get the cookie. But for now, I see like you want a guy that has very easy access into the roar to also like threaten this Pango who's running it. Because also there's a Chen heal to back him up. Like it's not just one roll. There's also a lot of stuff from Falcons that will come to back him up.
Terrorblade still exists.
Yeah, let's see what else is there from Satanic's pool. This guy is incredibly versatile. It's very hard to ban him out.
I mean, he played some Meepo and some techies. Not techies. That would be
He might play tech.
I mean, Tinker carry.
There we go.
That would be cool on the main stage. I never thought I'd say that, but here we are.
The thing with Pvision, how they draft is, even if they look like they need a bit of time to get online, the way that they buy Helmet Dominators and push waves, like from the Purge segment in the previous panel, it is so hard to deal with, and they always seem to come online.
What are you doing there, Nat?
Having a good time with the girls. All right, let's see what's coming. We got our final ban coming out for Pvision. Looks like on the side of Falcons there is also flex potential, and they will get that overall last pick.
I mean, for Pvision, it's something you have to do semi-blind. I mean, you need to respect that Falcons can put the Pango mid and you get offlane counter pick by Amar on the 24 pick. Yeah, I'm not really sure where to put my stuff on. I would have said maybe they're looking towards more of a... Yeah, it's going to be the Terrorblade.
And this here makes sense, right? He's going to be that ranged carry chunking away at this Pango. When he gets stored, he's going to provide an overwhelming amount of damage to go through DK's armor. You need an incredibly high damage carry to be able to do that. And now it creates the issue. Falcons have to address the Terrorblade in this last pick, making their flex a bit more uncomfortable.
Falcons have to be ruthless. When they leave their lanes and they feel like they have their first core item timings, every move needs to be very, very clear. Because if it gets any point difficult, as we keep harping on about the map play from Pvision, every hero available for Pvision can skip a wave really quickly, really nicely. And I mean, when Falcons group up as 4 or 5 heroes, they're going to be XP starved, farm starved. They cannot let the first game, affect them in this one for sure.
I'm not sure where to go with this. I don't know who they're going to give more priority. There's like... I'm not able to find like this Exodia pick that they had yesterday with the 24 Huskar. Like, do you want to like run most likely just another guy that goes in? Like, do you want to do some Primo and you flex? Is there Magnus? Like, neither of these heroes, they don't really do it for me. They're good, but it's not like what I'm looking for to really take over the game.
Yeah, it's the layers of saves that Pvision already have that prevents me from being excited about a Primal Beast, right? I think I'd agree that hero would be really nice, but instead they're just going to go for an Underlord.
Question, is it an Underlord carry or is it for the offlane here?
It
Yeah,
will be
offlane.
an
Oh,
offlane.
offlane.
I mean, it is one of their staples also. It does give you like more mobility around the map, right? You can deal with the waves because you can be somewhere, you gate somewhere else. You have the lane against the TV, you're generally going to do very well. And you do build auras, which Pvision, they don't pose too much damage. Like in this early mid game, it's all magic until Satanic has like 3-4 slots. So an early pipe with the Hand of God could be quite strong.
I think if Skidder can itemize, as a semi-carry, and then you have the Crimson on Underlord, the auras of a Chen, you run up together, Terrorblade might not even have the items to do the damage at that stage. So they could be, really, really formidable, but it's around 15 to 20 minutes, the correct auras, the correct positioning, and objectives should be Falcons.
And as we theory crafted, we are going to have the 9-class Centaur coming out from support. What can we expect from something like that?
Just wave shenanigans, an early blink set up for your team, a body for this Enigma. Like, it's an easy stun to have too, and the Stampede is a very cheap and easy disengage tool against what Falcons have going for them. I think the damage issues we talked about as well can be applied to Falcons draft. If they get their blink initiation with the DK, they don't have enough follow-up damage because of the auras that are going to be coming out of Pvision. They're going to reset and take that fight so easily with Metamorphosis, just like last game.
I'm going to be maybe slightly leaning towards Falcons. And again, I think it's the gameplay that will truly decide who's going to win this game. I love Pvision's draft too. I think if they get to delay, the game is probably theirs. But I like Falcons' answers a lot more in this game than I did in the previous.
Marine shouldn't get dual lane this time around. That's it. He should have a game.
You should have a game. And you mentioned earlier, T, that you want Falcons to play very crisp and clean, basically, in the early stages. Like, how important is that? And if they don't, do they have the chance to delay this game?
If they delay the game, then Pvision will exploit the map, and they will control every move and have every bit of information. So for Falcons, they need to break from lanes, control the first Roshan, play with purpose. If they stall out the game, then they're going to get picked apart.
Any final thoughts, Kazu?
I mean, if this game goes late, DM Enigma with Satanic TV will take over the game. But I'm hoping for Falcons, and I believe in their heroes, that they just won't let it get there. They're going to close it out 38 minutes.
38, that's
38,
very specific.
strict call.
Well, let's see what's going to happen. I know there's a lot of people hoping for a third game coming out here, and one of those people is on stage is, of course, Coach AUI 2000, who's with Slacks.
Absolutely, we are here with AUI 2000 from Team Falcons. Absolute pleasure to see you here on the stage yet again, sir. Now, your team is very used to being extremely difficult to draft against. A lot of heroes to ban, a lot of great players. But in this case, Parivision also pretty difficult to draft against. I mean, how do you draft against 9 class? As a team that's extremely used to people having issues drafting bans, do you feel like you have an advantage here?
Like in this game's draft?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
No, I think we're pretty happy with our draft. Honestly, game 1, I think the game didn't look that good, but I think a lot of it was we just gave them 4 bounce runes, so it's hard to like draw conclusions after games like that. So hopefully this one's better.
Absolutely. You heard it here from TI Winner. Once you lose 4 bounty runes, it's cooked. There's nothing you can do. Absolutely over. Okay, we got some iconic heroes, though. The Crit, Hoodwink, can't get better. But then you also have some other iconic heroes. DMs, Enigma, pretty scary stuff. Why'd you guys decide to let that one through?
I mean, as you said, like they have a lot of heroes. You have DM who has some like Phoenix Enigma. No one has some like Puck, Invoker, Queen. Like there's just a lot of heroes who ban versus this team and versus us, I guess. So you got to pick what you should play against, and we want to play versus Enigma.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're getting into that second game, excuse me, here today. I have to ask this question to you, sir. Will you be going to the grand finals? Will we see a game 3?
I hope so.
You hope so. Tell me you fucking know so. Look at that camera and tell me you know so.
I know so.
I know so! Let's get into it.
First blood already! No one takes out Crit. AUI seem to be horribly wrong.
He's very not confident in that answer as well. My goodness. But yeah, we have quite the draft here from both sides as game 2 is now upon us. Pvision 1 game away from making the grand finals. Will the nerves kick in?
Well, if AUI thought a big part of the last game's problem was that they lost 4 bounty runes, well, let's switch it up for First Blood and 3 bounty runes. I don't know if that's really an improvement over the previous experience.
Yeah.
Well, the ultimate result of this should once again be that no one will be pretty happy in the mid lane. This time, no Satyr to bother him, at least for now. And he will be playing the Beastmaster against Pangolier. A pretty easy matchup for Beastmaster in the first few levels. Then when Pango starts being able to kill boars, this could get a little more interesting. But I think this early start should be good for him.
This is the real story of the game, of course. They banned his Monkey King. They banned his Slark. What will he pick? It's a half horse, half man. Amazing. Centaur is picked for 9 class.
And of course, now that we're 1 minute 27 seconds into the game, it's time to start thinking about the cart. And what that's going to do for this game.
I've never seen him play Centaur, so I don't know if he's a cart enjoyer, you know? What can you do? He's gonna.
And also, how is he going to climb trees as Centaur? That is another question that remains to be. We need to find an answer for.
The old Stampede, you could traverse through terrain, but no more. Now you're just a slow horse. Of course, he has that facet, so he doesn't really need boots. We're not seeing the Counter-Strike facet ever taken.
No.
Which is really sad. There's no one in that mid lane. 8-4 right now versus the 8-1 on Malrine, so relatively even to start things out.
Yeah, both players will be farming here. I think perhaps no one has a slight advantage in terms of the potential for a gank from Snapfire or Centaur when he hits level 6. But conversely, I suppose Hoodwink could make a similar move, but maybe a little bit more dangerous to leave the Underlord alone against Snap Terribly. It's quite a strong lane, a lot of damage, and a lot of it from far away. Underlord likes when heroes are up close and personal and you can trade back, but the TB and the Snap have the upper hand there for sure.
Yeah, well, we're looking at 3 Helm of the Dominator purchases for Pvision. The mid laner on the Beastmaster for no one, DM's Enigma, and the support Centaur will also be going Helm of Dom.
I think there is a world where no one doesn't buy it. I would say the mid beasts have been, out of the traditional Helm buyers, mid Beastmaster probably has the lowest frequency.
Just into the Ags, I suppose?
Yeah, you just Ags rush with treads, and if you go the Dom first, perhaps your ramp up in the mid game is a little bit too slow for what you want to accomplish. It's also a big part of the justification for Helm of the Dominator on a lot of the heroes is the farming speed, but Aghanim's just faster. You farm exceptionally quickly when you get this item on Beast. You can find kills that are otherwise impossible. The Dominator doesn't match.
Satanic playing the Terrorblade this game. This was a very common carry from 6 months ago. It's kind of dropped off for whatever reason, but he is one of the best in the world at this, of course, going against Amar's Underlord. I mean, does Falcons have enough to contest against the likes of TB?
That's why this pick is so good, in my opinion. Hang on, we'll see if he dies first. Then we can talk about why it's good after.
How strong is Cinderan's Curse? Not strong enough, it seems.
All right.
Satanic will secure some last hits under the tower.
So looking at the big picture in this game, what I really like about the Terrorblade pick in this is you're playing against Dragon Knight, who's going to go green facet, so all the physical damage, you have a lot of armor. You're playing against Pango, who's all physical. And you're almost dead.
Lotus applies Satanic. Dives under the tier 1 to Amar. Cinderan's Curse is just delayed like his brain, but in the end, very strong indeed. It's 9 class securing a bounty room for himself. I mean, like theoretically, they have the percentage-based damage against them. Breathe Fire reduces base damage, which is really good against Terrorblade, but like in terms of damage itself, it's mostly physical, like you said, which the armor is really going to help with.
It is somewhat double-edged, but it's a matchup that Terrorblade has always enjoyed, the one against Dragon Knight. You outrange him in Metamorphosis form, you're going to buy the right items, you have inherently exceptionally high armor, and Dragon Knight will struggle to deal with that with the green facet. Pango's all physical. Underlord, yes, it's nice to have the auras against TB, but at the same time, the value of Firestorm against that hero also isn't the absolute best. He doesn't have as much HP as certain other carries. But it was crucial for Falcons to at least get on the board in this lane. Not something I would have expected, to be honest. Underlord Hoodwink, not necessarily a killer lane against these two, but they made it work.
Mid lane's still pretty close. As we're getting close to that 6-minute power rune, we'll see if the supports end up coming about. As you can see, 9 class on that Centaur. Close by, snaking. Getting some vision ahead of time. 9 class still level 2, has the hoof stomp double edge. As Malrine already using the swashbuckle. We'll see if they force the issue. No one with the primal roar available. Shield crash used as well. As bottom, looks like Amar's the one in trouble. Satanic has the Metamorphosis activated, and this is 3 members of Parivision gonna bring Amar down. No one gets off the roar just in time, but there's not gonna be any backup to try to go on top of Malrine. Instead, the Rolling Thunder will be completely free to rain right on top of no one's corpse.
You'll also get the rune as an added benefit. This was a really nice timed rotation from the side of Falcons. Nothing comes for free though with Amar dying, but probably happy to get the rune and get their Pango on the board first here. Considering, in spite of that kill, no one is still 500 ahead of the Pango. Kind of crazy when you think about it. 19 denies on the Beastmaster as well, putting on a clinic in the mid lane. Now the invasion.
Yeah, this is pretty important. 9 class really needs these levels. No one comes and takes most of the creeps with the wild axes. Snake King taking over a boar for some extra vision here. And this is a 7-minute move.
Test and get this wisdom. This will be a level 3 Centaur minute 7.
Yes, he is hurting big time. 5 seconds to come. Snake King onto the high ground. Will get the vision needed. 9 class absolutely cannot stand here. He's going to get bushwhacked. Gets off the hoof stomp, but dies shortly after. So Snake King takes the shrine, and Amar gets the other. So something the Falcons desperately need as they try to stay alive in this series.
This is one of those big differences. We're probably going to be talking about it more as this game progresses. Having 9 class off of those slippery heroes and onto a Centaur opens up new avenues for Falcons that they didn't have in the previous game, and that other teams haven't really found versus Parivision in previous series either. He's always been slippery and hard to deal with.
Yep, we got the hoof stomp with the help from the Cookie. Little Shredder doing some work as well. Amar trying to get away, but the blocks are too strong. But the TPs are coming for Falcons. Looks like this will break things up as Amar gets away with just a little bit of HP.
Mission
they
failed.
do spot it, so it's up, wasting a TP in the end.
Dragon form popped up top. This is a very strong timing for any Dragon Knight carry lineup. Level 6 together with Chen, a classic pairing of heroes. We've seen this for 15 years.
Roar from no one. Arcane rune taken afterwards as Crit Slowed
Should
to
be
a high
okay.
degree, and you will be getting away with the scurry.
This tower's gone up top. No
That's securing the
surprises
room.
there.
Indeed.
Much better start for Falcons to this game than the previous one. Still, the writing on the wall is more than likely, should this game go the distance, then Pvision's lineup with Enigma, Terrorblade, and Beastmaster insane in the late game, and you don't have solutions once again for the BKB Black Holes. The best tool you'll have is a Pango Basher and then hope for the best, but you don't really want to get there if you can avoid it. Of course, Kezu did predict a 38-minute victory for Falcons.
Yeah, very
Naive
specific.
as always, and questionable takes, but we'll let him.
Hey, he's on home turf right now, so
Yep.
got to give him the benefit of the doubt. As no one is working on the Ags that you were talking about.
Can we get some cheers for Kezu?
Oh, not bad, not bad.
Can we get some cheers for Bratwurst? All right, I think that was
about
surprisingly
the same.
close. I
You
didn't.
guys
I
not
thought
like
that,
food?
I
Food is...
thought that was going to be way more lopsided than that. Maybe they felt a little bit bad, but they really wanted to.
Yeah.
Cheer louder for that.
Maybe they're full from that last series.
Enough. Nah, I'm good.
Early 1K lead for the Falcons side. DM now level 6 in that black hole. And Skeeter. Blink Dagger is going to be the first item for him, and it's actually really close. Looks like they want to really push the envelope. Try to get ultra aggressive to start this game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when Falcons truly kick it into gear here. With this early defusal and Chen working on drum, perhaps that is when you're trying to collapse. You're also 100 gold away from DK's Blink. Classic build here from Skitter on the carry DK, even in phases when other teams were playing carry Dragon Knight more greedy with an early farming item. Skitter was generally leaning on this dagger and trying to take map control, and it really plays into the overall read that we have on Falcons as a team, which is they utilize Skitter a lot more aggressively rather than as a true position 1 in many of their games. However, in this one, maybe DK has to get really big. I'm not sure if Pango and Underlord can really output enough down the stretch.
Yeah, I have to say, the Underlord, I mean, not that this is an Underlord carry, but it is Amar playing the Underlord, so it feels like it will end up being an Underlord carry. It has been a bit underwhelming, but they will get that tier 1 tower. And this is the Blink Dagger reveal for Skeeter, right on top of DM. Sharpshooter from Crit is coming, and that is a lot of damage to withstand. DM will take a tumble as a result. Hand of God to be able to try to keep himself alive, Snake King, but the kisses are too strong. So some sort of a trade for Pvision, but definitely favoring Falcons this time around.
Yep, another tower and a core for support trade.
Diffusal online for Malrine as well, so...
Yep, if only someone had told you that 2 minutes ago when it was even more impressive.
I mentioned the Blink Dagger, you didn't listen as well, so that is tied for
All right,
this
it's a
game.
draw for now.
Keep it up.
I think you're just...
I didn't want to say
that.
anything
Okay.
because it's the upper bracket finals of TI, and it seemed kind of dumb to bring it up in the
Yep.
middle of something so prestigious.
Kind of weird that you did that, actually.
Yeah.
Here they come in the smoke,
Smoke.
looking for the wrap.
Malrine.
They'll find it.
Now Dragon Tail, this is a big pickoff if they can get it. And the cookie's not going to be enough as
Okay.
Malrine just completely destroys him. And now the tier 1 tower to follow. So that is 3 tier 1s already dead at the 12-minute mark. Falcons looking good.
Yeah, they're going to keep this pace up. This is what they need to do with their lineup. A strategy that they're very familiar with playing, so this should just be full-on autopilot almost. Not as in Pvision can't respond, but rather Falcons know what to do. Pvision have to come up with the solutions. 9 class found again. Level 5 just cracked, minute 12.
Yeah,
This is a totally different 9 class than in the last many games we've seen. For comparison, both supports on Falcon's side sitting on level 7. So he is not offering much. Far away from that helm, far away from Stampede. A little bit of a dead hero in the game right now, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's
Pvision
quite.
are almost playing 4v5.
But once he gets that cart,
Yeah, let's look ahead at that. I'll tell you this. If 9 class gets cart, they're going to win. Because that means the game went long enough
yeah,
that they didn't need it anyway.
very true.
13 minutes, 3K lead.
I mean, even if Falcons end up losing this game, this is something that other teams will be looking at.
Oh,
be able to ban both the Slark and the Monkey King as Satanic bushwhacked in, but you can see the TP's coming for Pvision. Sharpshooter does a lot of damage, but it's not quite enough. Sunder onto his own illusion to stay alive, but the Rolling Thunder, Malrine is there with the rest of Falcons nearby to finish the job. They get Ducalis as well as Satanic. Big kills as 9 class is basically a creep at this stage. 4K lead for Falcons.
Uh-oh. Well, Kezu with the 38-minute prediction, maybe very conservative. I feel like this could just be a 25-minute. Let's hold our horses. This is definitely looking great for Falcons, though. I found that in this tournament, a lot of the time it's very difficult to predict game length, even based on, let's say you take a snapshot now and you're like, okay, you would probably have an idea about 6 months ago with where this game is oftentimes headed, and then you get surprised time and time again. But without question, this is about as good of a start as Falcons could have hoped for. They're also going to get both Wisdoms perhaps here. If they get both, this is so bad for Centaur. He's going to stay level 5.
Oh my god.
He's about to get 6 from 1 creep, but we're talking minute 14.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. Do not pick Centaur support in your pubs. Holy jeez. There it is. Stampede finally available for the horse. As the cheer, the crowd goes wild for that.
Yeah, 2 people happy about that. Good for you guys. Let's see him put it to good use.
I mean, is this the latest level 6 in the tournament, potentially?
I don't think so, but it might be the latest on a position 4. I think it's the latest we've cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes 5s just have a terrible game where they get run over in lane and they don't really recover.
I mean, he's position 7 in this game, it feels like, so far. And we'll see if he can catch up, though.
Wow, not even 6.
No, we skipped a level there.
Okay.
He's still going for the Helm of the Dominator. I mean, that certainly
what
is a way
what
to
are you going to do when you have Crown and Helm of Iron Will? Are you going to change your build?
Yeah, true. He's already committed quite a while ago.
At this point. Although it would be cool to see him say screw it and go armlet. That would be, honestly, that would be one of the least surprising players to do it with a 9 class.
Yeah, if only he was playing the Terrorblade in this case.
Yeah,
9 class.
going to get jumped by Skitter.
See, well, waiting for the Stampede, but the Dragon Tail comes first. 9 class. He will be using the Stampede. They're going to try to turn this right around with the Black Hole available, but the Fiend's Gate comes out. Mortimer's Kisses with the Black Hole right on top. They get the DK. Looks like they will find 9 class in the end, but at what cost exactly? DM's going to get the cookie to stay away. You'll be perfectly safe, so the position 7 Centaur taken out in replacement for the position 1 Dragon Knight.
That did force both Black Hole and Stampede and Roar, though.
Yeah,
so
that
a
means
lot
Falcons.
of opportunity. Nice Midnight Pulse instantly there from DM to stop the Bushwhack. Nice little detail. Enigma obviously having that reliable counterplay to Hoodwink. And if nothing else for the side of Pvision, aside from the trade itself, Satanic gets a little bit of breathing room. But this is going to cost them. Here comes the Zoo.
Yeah, no Black Hole, no Mortimers. That means Roche for free for Falcons. I mean, how do they scale into the late game if Pvision is able to somehow defend, like from the Falcons' perspective? Because this is obviously a very good early game lineup.
I mean, Pango can be deceptive and can be a true late game powerhouse. The problem is just his matchups, right? It's not that their lineup in itself can't play late game well, but you're playing into Roar, you're playing into Black Hole, and you're playing into a hard-hitting ranged carry. So 3 things that are generally tough for Pango, and I mean, shouldn't come as a surprise. You first face this hero, of course, it's going to get counterpicked at this level. But once again, Falcons' goal, if you ask them before the game how long they want this game to be, it's probably around the 40-minute mark that they're hoping to win. For Pvision, they'll probably just tell you the longer the better. Dom now up for 9 class. Let's see him find a creep.
Will it be a Centaur? Ooh. Oh. That's an Ogre. That is a Satyr. Okay. Not what we were hoping for, of course.
This is probably the most pitiful farming speed you've seen from 9 class. He's standing there killing a Satyr Mindstealer. It took him about 15 seconds to kill a medium creep without retaliate.
And Ducalis can be found by Malrine. Completely drained of mana and an easy pickoff as a result. Aghanim Scepter not too far away from Malrine. It's going to be an extremely good timing. As Skeeter applying pressure to the tier 2 bot. This looks like another free objective for Falcons.
And the big fundamental difference between game number 1 and this one is that this time around, Pvision are unable to force Falcons to defend. That's the #1 biggest difference. Sure, you could also say they won the lanes, but all these things are compounding where Pvision have games where the lanes don't go perfectly, they get their DOMs and they stall. This time, not happening. Because they only had the Enigma one for so long, and it's not enough against Chen's army and all the clear that Falcons have. So now they are the ones forcing you back, and Pvision a lot less comfortable in that playstyle, and they don't have their 9-class scouts to give them moments of opportunity. No slippery ward placing hero, no invisible hero, nothing like that.
Rolling Thunder finds another target. Bushwhack right on top. Fiend's Gate is close by. No one does get off the Primal Roar there, and there's the Stampede from the Centaurs. Now the Metamorphosis popped by Satanic. Can they try to turn this around? A big reflection comes out. Malrine and company looks like they're going to back away for the time being. That is still a big cooldown expended. As 9-class spotted. DM is nearby, and Skeeter won't pursue any further.
Yeah, not quite enough for that Orchid, but an interesting pickup nonetheless. Probably the dream scenario for him is finding Enigma and getting the silence off, or of course the Terrorblade post Manta. Not going to be the easiest, but still. Another tempo item, if you will, right? Going Blink Orchid on DK, you can't really play much faster than that. It's telling a clear story about what Falcons are trying to do, whereas Pvision just, once again, buying that time.
Yeah,
Enigma's itemization also playing into that with the early Crimson.
It was quite a good delay from Pvision, cutting out some of the time with this Aegis as now they scan out, but the TP looks to be successful. Malrine, no Basher. Only 200 away from that Ags. And only 2 minutes left on the Aegis. I mean, when they picked up this Aegis, how many buildings do you think that they were expecting to take?
I think they were hoping to take at least 2 tier 2s. But
still in the realm of possibility. The 20-minute mark is close as well, so they'll likely use this advantage to be able to take the Tormentor.
And they would love to get the Chen one in this game. We just want stronger and bigger creeps. The Hoodwink already bought her own, so it's between the Chen. I guess Pango is also okay, but once again, not the most obvious value game, given that there's 2 BKB piercing abilities.
Yeah. 9-class has to use the Stampede, but he gets Dragon-tailed. Cookie to follow. And the Orchid used from Skeeter, attempting the TP. Bushwhack will connect. This will be the death of the Centaur. And we can see on the Tormentor side, Amar will be going to town. And it will be snaking, so Ancients at his disposal.
The Ripper's Lash on Chen with 12 skeletons is just something else.
Yeah.
It's
and
crazy.
looks like they will get that second tier 2 as the Aegis 40 seconds away.
DM thinking about this Wisdom. Let's see if Amara calls the bluff here. I think he's a little bit uncertain about whether he can get away with it, but okay, well, with DM TPing out, this plays itself. We're going to have the 1-for-1 trade.
You'd say that, yeah. You were correct. Good job.
I do indeed say that. Thank you for listening.
Well, 9-class going for a Blink Dagger next, so actually not anything too crazy. I was expecting some big switch-ups here from the position for Centaur. Still obviously a ways away. I mean, he went for a full Hoof Stomp double edge build, so his farm is completely dependent on just double edging creeps and using the Helm of the Dom.
I mean, there is surely no other build this game than Blink Ags, right? No joke. What else are you really buying here? Your Enigma is buying the auras that you need. Your job is to try to save people that get Dragon-tailed. Most likely later in the game. Be there for your Terrorblade, drive him into the fight, and let him attack freely. However, when you're playing support Centaur and you go Ags, you don't have those tankiness items. So when you run in on it as a workhorse, you might just get killed almost instantly. So that's a little bit tricky. I do think it is the path that he is bound to take. Can also drive in the Enigma for a nice black hole.
Oh yeah,
that's fun. But right now, I think the Ags is a complete pipe dream. He's 5,000 gold away from having that and Dagger, which means he would have to almost triple his net worth.
Almost there.
So yeah, give him another 30 minutes. Might be there. And what's shaping up to be another one-sided affair, but this time the complete flip from game 1. Falcons have definitely figured something out about Pvision's playstyle in that first game. And should this go to a game 3, that's when it would get really interesting if Pvision can bring something new to the table and counter the counter.
That's right. Pick an even weirder position 4. That's the goal if we get to that point.
Spectre 4
Hell yeah.
for 9 class.
Let's hear it for Spectre, everybody.
Most random thing.
Skeeter blinks to the high ground, gets roared for his trouble, but you can see the Fiend's Gate of Amar on the way, so this will be the death of Ducalis at the very least. And no one already exiting the premises. Did require a few TPs from Falcons, but they secure the kill.
Yeah. Pvision just, I was going to say they seem a little lost, but they really don't. They're just very, it's very deliberate the way in which they're playing the map. It's all stalling tactics, but they can't really take any initiative for the foreseeable future. And playing Dota like that at this level, it's exceptionally difficult. Like, you can try to play keep away as long as you want, but eventually you're playing against a team that has a blink stun hero, you have a global hero in the Fiend's Gate, and the Hoodwink crit in this tournament has been insane on this. They're gonna find you eventually. Or they just go high ground.
High ground onto the helm of the Dominator, destroyed. Satanic and company are nearby to
Okay, they go
get
back.
rid of these skellies, though. I mean, that is one thing, is Pvision have very good high ground defense, and they can kill creeps extremely quickly. I mean, no one just alone could do that. Obviously wasn't even needed for that.
Yep.
As he's getting close to a blink dagger for himself now. And DM, about 1,200 from the BKB on the Enigma.
Yeah. You would imagine Pango, oh, Malrine, he saw him.
Yes, he did. Crit will be coming in from the south as well. And DM, you are super dead, my friend. Quite tanky with that Crimson Guard, but okay. He's going to attempt the TP. Very ambitious indeed.
That's very optimistic. Good effort, as you like to say. But not quite enough to get out of there. And yeah, with the BKB, surely Malrine will go Basher after Blink, right? I don't think this is a game. You could consider Linkins against the Beastmaster and the Sunder, but I don't think it's necessary. I think you'd much rather play your tempo and try to dictate the fights. Having that way of stopping Black Hole be very nice and valuable, and of course...
That is a huge pickup.
Oh, yeah.
Global Root. God, what a cool axe. This thing is so sick on the Underlord. Just needs a Gleipnir, of course. That's the pub mentality. Will not be going for that, of course. There's Amar with just a ridiculous amount of Zoo Creeps nearby. Smoke from Pvision. Roche is now up.
Feels like it's been a long time since we've seen an Underlord as top net worth in a game when it's not the carry.
That's fair,
is
yeah.
extremely farmed in this game. Just full space all the time.
Amar spots him. Hit a Malice. Satanic trying to run away. Cuts down some trees as his entire zoo is chasing him. He will be able to get out for the time being. The rest of Falcons relatively close. They will likely try to take this next Roche relatively shortly. It is in the top area at the moment. We'll have another 4 minutes to be able to take it. They are grouping up now.
And this is a great hero against Pvision's playstyle as well. When you think about how they stall their games and what they do to get to that late game, Fiend's Gate has to be one of the best abilities. You send Amar, a mega tanky hero, to take out the trash in a side lane, and he can always connect to a possible team fight if needed. And now with that route, as you mentioned, it's going to be even better. Nice reaction there from no one.
Trying to bait them in, but it does feel like Pvision might just give this Aegis up potentially. DM is very far to the north. As even Kiss is being used to scout things out. As Falcons still not feeling confident to be able to take Roche.
They want to find a pick instead.
Against the Enigma.
Skitter's just going to run in.
Yes, he is. Malrine, he gets Malefice to start things out. And they're going to be able to get the silence on this Enigma DM. Stampede, he is all alone right now. See if he goes for a black hole play. Probably not, as Malrine finally gets the connection. It takes such a long time. It's even the creep helping out with the congregations of the deep, and the swashbuckle finishes the job. So 45 seconds, not having to worry about DM. Technically does have buyback, but at this stage of the game, unlikely to see it. Now Falcons do have to worry a bit about this bot lane if you go for Roche. as he is still angry, it seems. Snaking halfway to an Aghanim Scepter, by the way. This is such a cool Ags.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
We've seen it once before in this tournament.
Yep.
Be able to channel it, be able to give it magic resist. As the Aegis will go to Skeeter.
For any Warcraft 3 fans, this Ags reminds me a lot of Shadowhunter's Ultimate in that game, where you yourself make all units around yourself invulnerable. It's obviously not to that level, but the concept is the same. You have this relatively fragile hero that just becomes the center of the fight. And yeah, curious to see if Snaking gets there, if that will be a very noticeable difference, but yeah, making all allied units debuff immune with 60% magic resist. Kinda crazy for 6 seconds.
Trying to cut the wave was DM, not successful. Skeeter leading the way, has the Bloodthorn now and the Aegis. Roche banner placed, and this is where Pvision have to make some serious decisions on their defense.
Nice Manta
Nice Manta
dodge.
for Satanic. Dragontail completely dodged. As the Rolling Thunder comes in right on top of Satanic with the roar used on Malrine. The Force Touch can keep his head. It's a double black hole with the Mortimers from above. Do they have the damage? The BKBs mitigate most of it though. And now Pvision on the retreat. Big Swashbuckler coming in from Malrine with the shield crash to follow. No one is dead just outside his base. Satanic drops as well along with DM. That is 4 dead for Pvision. Only 2 buybacks available. A full team wipe. Falcons lose nothing. They still have Aegis for 3.5, and these buildings will absolutely melt.
It's a completely similar fashion to game 1, just for the other team. Pvision, they don't have the damage. They're getting a 2-hero black hole, they're getting the roar off, they're using Snap Ult, Terrorblade meta, and Falcons just shrug it off.
And they're going to go straight for the Megas.
And they just don't care.
Likely the final fortification of the game. These creeps do not give a shit about that though. As the buyback comes out from no one. Of course, there's no black hole once DM is back up and running. Another 100 seconds away. This is surely going to be mega creeps. And indeed, 30 minutes in the game, Falcons with megas.
And there it is, the Chen Ags ready to make a big difference after the game is basically won. For the side of Falcons, can do a little bit of a celebratory dance in the end if he wants to, as now the items just come raining in. Full Shiva's Guard for Amar.
Can
DK almost has
Pvision
Lincolns.
Can Pvision hold on for 8 more minutes so Kezu can be correct? Will it happen? Big
I
smoke
give them
though.
20 seconds.
This would be a dive back for no one. He pops the BKB, trying to retreat, gets off the Primal Roar. Looks like he's fine, although Malrine has something to say about that. There's the cart from 9 class. Huge plays from him using nothing. Nobody's in the cart. No one. He dies right outside of the cart. Truly unfortunate for the position 7 Centaur. 2 dead for Pvision, and now Falcons looking to end the game. Satanic calls GG, and that's going to mean Game 3 on the way.
And 9 class is going to be upset with that last fight. He followed the team's instructions.